Celestine Starhaven arrived as a whisper of tide foam on 19 May 1999 in a weather-stained cedar cottage hoisted above the sapphire shallows of Harbor Island, South Carolina. The very moment sea lavender perfume slipped through cracked shutters, her mother, a road-roaming funk drummer who hides pressed wisteria petals between spare drum heads, tapped a pocket beat on the bedside table that set jelly jars shimmying on warped planks. Her father, a marsh mapping pilot who sketches cloud dolphins on flight plans, leaned so close their lashes almost tangled and promised his newborn that tidal gossip, critical side eyes, and any size chart stuck in narrow lanes would always part for a spirit wide enough to claim her whole outline. Hers rippled through the Starhaven lineage like warm Gulf Stream fingers curling around cool Atlantic currents. So not a single soul panicked when baby Celestine ripped a second muslin swaddle long before the kettle hissed. Granny Doorbell winked, threaded a shrimp net needle through torn seams, patched the blanket with strips of a faded regatta flag, and laughed that a handful of cloth costs pennies while teaching a child to shrink can cost her galaxies worth of sunrise. Grade school smelled of pencil wood, pecan pie cooling behind cafeteria doors, and salt breeze sneaking beneath bent window frames. Celestine already stood half a head taller than her classmates, eclipsing the overhead beam whenever she traced sea turtle migration on the pull-down map. One spinning rain recess, two boys hop-step circles calling barge stacker each time her rubber boots smacked the chalk square. At that dusk, she hunted the rack line for soda caps polished satin by wave churn, threaded them onto a fishing leader, stitched the tinkling strand down her jade hoodie, and glided into class at dawn, scattering prism freckles across ceiling tiles. A substitute literacy coach captured 8 shaky seconds on a pay-as-you-go flip phone, uploaded the sparkle to a young video nook, and by lunch, 15,000 strangers cheered the girl who forged ridicule into lighthouse shine. At homework hour, she wrote one promise in lavender gel beside multiplication drills. Clouds crowd only until you flash them bright. Weekends belonged to shrimp docks where her mother snare rolls sparred with gull squawks, diesel coughs, and oystermen humming soul standards. Retail jeans paused at Celestine's thighs, so she traded tip jar coins for sun-bleached gill net, unraveled it into rope, crocheted high-rise culottes, airbrushed egret silhouettes with squid ink, and posed at blood-orange dusk against rust-stripped bollards while her cousin snapped grainy frames. She sent each shot into an online log called Lantern Wake, the same week a picture app fluttered over shaky coast cell towers. Captions toggled from low country slang to crisp truths like curves anchor gale gusts steadier than jetties. Before 16 candles flickered 54,000, unseen confidants tapped little hearts beneath every mango frame, proof that glowing rectangles hush cafeteria whispers faster than any assistant coach whistle. A scholarship in coastal engineering ferried her north to the College of Charleston. Sunlight dissolved inside wave flume labs. Moonlit hours belonged to a 24-hour crab cake cart, glowing neon tangerine beneath live oaks. The heat lamp became her only softbox. Between hush puppy orders, she filmed 90-second reels, folding parchment into marsh lily barrettes while decoding dart rotation in half-surf lull, half-lectures. One up-layered laughing loon calls on a lo-fi shuffle while she chain-stitched reflective anchor cord into thrift denim. 46 hours later, view counts skimmed past 1.2 million. Sea Island-style blogs crowned her the crab cake couturier, yet every sponsor email froze at size 16. Celestine stowed each pitch in a folder labeled Shrinking Nets, wiped lemon aioli from her cuff, and plated another sandwich. 2008 Heretti, autumn storm season, carried an email from Columbia Sportswear. The brand asked her to co-design a spray shell set named Jetty Pulse. She responded with 3 Marsh Rock terms: pattern scaling to 60-inch hips, half the creative crew hired from community college fashion programs, and 10% of net revenue assigned to oyster reef restoration along the Carolina coast. Columbia signed before sunrise painted fuchsia trails across the lab skylight. The photo shoot dawns on the sand spit where brand new turtle hatchlings etch comma-shaped tracks toward foam shimmer. Celestine guided curvy paddle surfers slicing glass water while a drone wrote lazy infinity across the sky. When the lookbook hit feeds, every extended size coat vanished in 41 hours across 28 countries, lantern weight catapulted beyond 700,000 lanterns. Still dusted with powdered sugar from late shift churros, she balanced her phone on a spice crate, ducked behind flour sacks, and live streamed tear-bright thanks beneath humming fluorescence. Or, quick ripplement, if this voyage has already lifted your ribs, touch that subscribe icon right now, locking in your railside berth so the next adventure surges into your stream before any algorithm current can reroute the tide. Spotlight glimmer soon drew rumor pelicans. A gossip vlog claimed Celestine strapped titanium plates round her waist onto those Columbia coats. At sunrise, she paddled a cedar skiff beyond Spartina grass, planted bare feet in sports bra and linen shorts, traced each stretch mark with crushed bougainvillea bloom, and rode a trumpet croon so raw, dolphins breached. 10 million viewers reposted the jam tag bougainvillea proof, brushing magenta shimmer across their own curves until gossip sank like a stone trap. Part wages braided with capsule royalties and whipped into Starhaven butter, a custard swirling Tupelo blossom fat, kumquat zest oil, and mica sparks that glow pearl under foam flash. 19,000 tins cooled on her dad's chart table, lids tied with braided trolling line, each tag stamped "Moisturize your horizon." Inventory drained in 83 minutes, lifting $197,000. 20% seeded Beacon grants, delivering industrial surgers and hydrophone kits to plus-size teens in tidal schools from Manteo to Mobile. 8 months later, 36 grant winners staged a floating fashion and dolphin harmony pageant aboard a retro shrimp scow clad in LED Spartina, streaming sunrise to students from Nairobi clear to Nuuk. Charleston Fashion Week printed new Jetty lore when a backstage blower tore her emerald mesh gown from hip to knee just 90 heartbeats before runway. Celestine ripped neon dock rope off a rigged brace, laced the gash like hiking hooks, and strode out as if the splice belonged from sketch 1. Camera shutters cracked like skillet corn. Vogue Maritime nicknamed the moment Rope Cadence. And another million lantern wake lights flickered to life before brass horns warmed the after party. Disgruntled A. Lee clipped email bits hinting she demanded grouper silers and chauffeured hydrofoils for her rescue heron harbor. Celestine posted the entire string. Refillable water urns, lentil stew for crew, caption screens for deaf stylists. That month's affiliate wave $136,000 flowed into biodegradable crab trap pilots off Bulls Bay. Fans repeated her peer creed, receipts shine brighter than rumored grit until whispers blew away like marsh smoke. On Midsummer Lantern Wake shimmered aquamarine, 6.9 million Instagram anchors, 3.4 million real voyagers, and 2 million faithful channel subscribers, engagement brushing 10% and pushing brand decks back to blank slides. Cartier invited her to headline a Topaz Surge vignette inside the Century Lens at Morris Island Light. She said yes, once Cartier funded counseling stipends for oyster shuckers shaken by superset. The finish reel, her wrist scattering amber shards across rusted ribs, became Cartier's most saved post that quarter. Family stays. Her bell is twice a month. She streams porch-tide jams. Mom slides funk chords beside a propane skillet. Dad recites cloud haiku, and Celestine flips thrift denim beneath fairy bulbs. One episode crested 9 million when Harbor waddled through powdered sugar, then sneezed glitter onto the lens. A seabird refuge now sponsors each stream, tagging rehabbed herons with solar beacons funded by Starhaven butter. Butter revenue sailed past 12 million before its second equinox. She'd leased an idle oyster shack, carved skylights into corrugated tin, and hired furloughed deckhands plus design grads to whip custard and knot lids by hand during midday groove breaks to trumpet house loops. Consultants insisted on heat shrink bands. She repeated her mother's wisdom, fingertips protect stories long after machines forget, and rope ties remained. Mental weather truth pours through her feed. Cedar Ridge portraits sit beside crab cart selfies captioned, "Same sky, different tide." She shares breath loops recorded inside sea caves, printable resilience sheets in English and Gullah, and sliding scale therapy links. 132,000 followers cite her shoreline candor as their first calm harbor. Community ride shimmer under crushed shell paint. Hundreds pedal sunset causeways wearing Starhaven butter on collarbones and LED COs on spokes. Ticket profits expand beacon grants and erect wheelchair snorkel lifts at tide pool coves. Chowder shacks stay open late. Chic crab bows rise 15% on ride nights. Celestine rolls lead on a vintage cruiser with harbor plush strapped front, pausing to tighten any rider's loose lace. She is finishing a memoir titled Currents Keep Names for 11 Language Shells next spring, while a documentary crew films her plan to convert retired Thai boys into floating maker hubs for Seasland schools. Puma's wide-toe wave lantern sneaker launches next quarter, threaded in reflective rope and cushioned by algae foam, channeling 10% of revenue into beacon seedlings around the Atlantic Rim. Second, friendly gust. If that subscribe marker is still ruby, let it soften to silver with one fingertip touch, ensuring next week's tale lands in your notifications ahead of the algorithm chop. Playback is gliding toward quiet water. In the description, you will discover fresh Starhaven butter jars, a direct tieway to beacon grant applications, tonight's porch tie playlist, and a discreet compass. A science-rooted pack of conversation sparks and calm confidence drills that plots the cleanest course to lasting love and the most dependable route to spark authentic intrigue in any woman you meet. All yours, no gatekeepers. If this all the caps, spine shimmer, roll cadence, gowns save, or harbor glitter sneeze raise, even a flicker of a grin. Tap, like, pin your brightest ripple in the comments. And for this voyage to a friend whose sails hang slack. Every curve can redirect currents, every scar refracts moonlight, and the Atlantic bows to anyone who plants two steady boots on the pier and greets tomorrow eyes wide open. The off-final side of Surf Across the Mic. Subscribe right now, claim your rail, follow that love link in the description, and meet me on the next Rising Swell when a new story glitters beyond the breakers and courage calls your name anew.